Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're casting up an epic game here, TVZ. It's going to be myself, NanMan, with MasterDalK, and we've got a pretty exciting TVZ setup here on Neoplanet S. But MasterDalK, you want to take it away with some of the introductions here?
Alright, well, from Team oGaming, we're going to have our red Terran player on the top right of Neoplanet S. It is going to be RuFF, also known as RuFF.
Also known as RuFF. Cool. I didn't know that he's going by the ID RuFF right now.
Yeah, but he decided to change his name somewhere down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. And his opponent spawning down here in the southwest position is going to be our yellow Zerg player in the only other spawn location here on Neoplanet S from Team SCA. He's known as Cross. And it looks like we're going to be seeing some shenanigans starting things out. I mean, already from this barracks placement here from RuFF, but I mean, this is kind of RuFF's way of playing into the map because there are no watchtowers on this map. You know, why not kind of mess with your opponent in that regard? But Cross is going to get over here and kind of scout things and see no barracks, so that's going to start getting him a little bit worried.
Yeah, and this is going to make Cross throw down a spawning pool and a Vespene Geyser as well. And with it, when he'll be able to get metabolic boost pretty quickly, and that'll help versus any sort of marines or bunker plays that come out of RuFF. And right now, there is an SCV heading across the map here. And what? Will it drop down a bunker?
Yeah, I mean, he gets over there and sees, oh wow, you still don't even have an expansion yet. I mean, that's one of the things that you normally see Zerg player do, is get an expansion immediately, but not seeing this, he grabs both of his SCVs, will run up onto the high ground and start building the first bunker. Marine number one is going to be heading on over there. Overlord is able to spot this, so knows this is coming. But he's got to be careful. Ooh, even an engineering bay there to really block this area in. So tricky.
Yeah.
But Drone's actually busy attacking the engineering bay and leaving the bunker up for that. Oh, no cancel on the engineering bay, actually.
Ooh, this will be so bad for RuFF. He's going to be losing quite a few minerals. He will cancel that bunker at least, saving him 75 minerals there. And now it looks like a few more marines will get pumped out, going to get rallied back into his own main base. And then he'll probably lift up the barracks, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to be able to at least check when will your second hatchery go down. And right now, all the units are heading back, and double refinery going down for our Terran player RuFF here. So it may be transitioned into factory play.
Yeah, that is, you know, a normal transition from this, you know, try to get those Hellions out, get out on the map, but a few of the Lings going to come over here, intercept some of the Marines. Now, they're not going to be able to get inside the main base because the command center there to block that off, but going to try to deal a little bit of damage to that one Marine on the low ground. Will kill it off, but aren't going to be able to do too much damage after this, but again, that barracks has kind of landed itself right outside the natural just to be super annoying and delay things even longer for Cross. And his response to this, throw down the Baneling Nest.
Yeah, so with this Baneling Nest, it'll make it a lot easier for Cross to be able to deal a lot of damage earlier on. And it will kind of negate the fact that his second hatchery was so late. And also, since he knows that it's going to be a command center on the high ground, that means that RuFF, he won't have too many units for the very beginning. And right now it's going to be double factory on the way. Lots of buildings here just kind of around this ramp.
Yeah, I like the decision to go for the double factory play. I mean, you know, he has no use of the barracks at all anymore. It's just basically going to be used for scouting at this point in time, so why not go for that mech style of play? Tech Lab's getting added on here. And like you mentioned, with having all these buildings surrounding the ramp, this is actually going to make it much better to defend against this Baneling bust that's coming out here. I mean, we do see 6 Banelings seconds from completing here. Cross going to try to make something happen with this. I mean, there's only a handful of Marines out right now. You know, the first Hellion's going to be coming out soon, but not much defense right now. So Baneling's going to crash in here and do take out the supply depot, but immediately RuFF makes good decision making. Will throw down a barracks to kind of seal that area in for now. I mean, he does have a pretty decent wall. Going to make some more Banelings from Cross to try to stop this, but that barracks is kind of just barely hanging on there as the wall.
Yeah, and right now more and more Banelings are getting morphed in. The first Hellion is out, and this will help get rid of a lot of these Zerglings. Oh, but the barracks did go down. Zerglings and Banelings now in the main base, and one Baneling is very close to exploding on all of these SCVs. Not going to be killing too many, though, which was very lucky for RuFF. Right now, only 5 workers killed. Zerglings finally going to get rid of, but now it looks like the factory will get moved forward. The wall will be completed. Mules will get thrown down, but I don't know if I liked that from our Zerg player Cross, because he lost a lot of resources with that.
Yeah, I mean, we look, he's lost more resources than Terran there, and that's never a position you want to be in, even economically. You know, Cross is behind. You know, he's sitting at 18 workers now, like he's just now starting to drone, but he's had his natural expansion delayed for such a long period of time. He tried to make something happen with that. You know, maybe if he'd got some better Baneling hits, killed off a few more SCVs, that would have worked out a little bit better, but you know, now he just kind of is sitting here, made a little bit too many lings. You can't really do anything else with them at this point. I guess, yeah, you can make sure they're out on the map, get some vision, things like that, but once the Hellions start moving out, those lings are going to get roasted very quickly, especially since Infernal Pre-Igniter's coming out, which is that blue flame upgrade for all those Hellions. But I don't know, what would you like to see Cross do from this point?
I don't know. I think he's gonna. What he's doing right now is pretty good. He's getting a Roach Horn, and he's gonna be able to defend any Hellion harass that comes in right now. And he's also done a good job, because right now the barracks is very close to dying, and it's on fire. And I don't even know if they'll be able to make it back. And they'll force RuFF into making another barracks just to continue factory production. And right now, these roaches, they need to come out soon. 3 on the way. This will help versus the Hellions that are on the way, and nice Sim City as well.
Yeah, I mean, good positioning here with the Queens too at the front, with the spine that's going to help lock that area down, prevent the Hellions from really being able to run past. Roaches are slowly going to start popping out now, but you know, this is at least good intel from RuFF, knowing, okay, you're pretty much locked in there. And, oh, Lings rushing in there, actually not being paying enough attention, and the wall was down, allowing the Lings to run by, get inside the main base, killing off quite a few SCVs in the process. Hellions forced all the way back home, but this was exactly what Cross needed here. I mean, killing off 23 workers so far now.
Yeah, and right now only 9 workers in total for our Terran player RuFF with the 1 mule, and this will make it so difficult. And 2 Banelings even get morphed in the corner of the main base here, and they're gonna go run right back over towards the natural. Will they get any workers? Kills. Oh, the supply depot gonna get left up again, and now the Baneling's gonna come in here. How many kills will they get? Not too many, actually.
No, not too bad at all there. So at least having that Hellion helped out a bit. But I mean, you know, with 10 workers, I mean, he's got double command centers. Yeah, that's going to help. Double SCV, double mule. But you know, now he just has to play super defensive. And Cross can really afford to play much more greedy now. You know, get a 3rd base, get a 4th base even if he wanted.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's got a good amount of roaches out, have a good amount of queens. As long as he plays smart while doing this, you know, make sure he doesn't let those Hellions in the base, he'll be in a great position here.
Yep, and these Hellions still alive from the beginning of the game, and with the blue flame, they can, if they can find a hole, they'll be able to slip in, but it looks like these roaches will force them away right now. The lair is on the way, as well as the 3rd base for our Zerg player Cross here. So he will be, in fact, playing greedy, as you said earlier. And right now, it's just going to be 3 factory production, and it seems, until he can get his economy back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's doing what he can here. I mean, you know, he's got a good defense. He's got the Widow Mines, got the tanks here. You know, moving around, has finally scouted the 3rd base. So he's doing what he needs to do. Now, he does have vulnerabilities in his play because he's going for this mech. It's going to take him a long time to build it up. It's really hard to rebuild it once it dies. You know, it's quite immobile with the exception of the Hellions here. So that could be something that Cross could play into, you know, going for drop style of play, which we do see he is going for that now. You see Ventral Sacks on the way, as well as that Pneumatized Carapace, which is Overlord drop and speed. So he's basically like, alright, I know what I need to do to counter this mech army.
Yeah, and if he can deal a lot of damage again, then it'll put RuFF in such a odd position to be in because he's already playing from behind. He's doing a good job though because he's getting a lot of defensive units such as the tanks, such as the Widow Mines, and slowly he'll be able to just stay on the 2-base economy and maybe even be able to win again.
Now Overseer is going to zip in here for Cross, get some intel, what's going on, sees okay, Armory's going down, drop a Changeling, still in the 3 factories, cool. A lot of tanks though, very interesting. He does get to see the Widow Mines as well, so that's at least some more intel.
Yeah, and with that Overseer dying out, it got so much information, but right now RuFF, he's doing a great job. He's only 30 supply down right now and 10 workers behind from his Zerg opponent, where before he was about 30. So RuFF, I don't know how he's doing it, but those mules, they're helping quite a bit, and I guess having that second command center also helped, and he's going to be able to get quite a scary mech army if left untouched.
Hellions trying to poke up again, see if they can make something happen, but just a handful of roaches locking that area down. But again, Cross is such an aggressive player here. Like, he's perfectly fine doing the bare minimum drone count to really keep him in this game, but really putting on the pressure here. He's got, 5 overlords already loaded up here, ready to start dropping down on his opponent with roaches. Now, there's a good amount of tanks back at home, a good amount of Widow Mines. He's got drilling claws on the way, starting that +1 vehicle weapons. A few Thor's going to get added into the mix here, but like you mentioned, he had to rebuild that barracks if he wants to start building more factories, so he's got to start doing that now. But it's going to be tough to really make something happen at the natural with how many siege tanks are here. So what he can really hope for is getting some good drops in the main base, maybe snipe the armory, maybe do some damage to the command center. But if he gets close to that natural, he's not going to be able to just kind of bust it.
Yeah, and RuFF right now, he's progressing into that mech play as even more now because he's getting those Thors, which will be very crucial, especially versus these Overlord drops, and they're going to be coming in from the west of his main base. And the Overseer comes in, it sees that there's no defense at the main right now, and these roach drops can do so much damage if they can do a lot. And there's even going to be roaches coming in from the front of the natural as well to distract his opponent. And if he can snipe that armory, he'll keep his opponent so far behind because +1 vehicle weapons is just getting started right now.
This is going to be huge. You see roaches dropping inside the main base. The rest of the roaches on the map cleaned up all those Hellions. And now, actually, no response for the command center, not lifting it up. Armory's being targeted down, finally lifts that up, but it looks like he will not be getting that +1 upgrade. And so now repositioning, getting some tanks in there, getting those Widow Mines in a good position. But roaches are actually really good at absorbing the Widow Mine shots. So did a good job taking all those shots in the front, but with all the tanks there with the Thors, they're going to get cleaned up eventually. But still, did a pretty good amount of damage there. Took out the armory. Annoyed his opponent, weakened a few of that mech army. Wasn't able to really do the damage that he would have loved. Like, we still look at the resource loss. He's lost a lot more. I mean, yes, he's at 111 supply to 84. He's got his 3rd base up and running. It's, pretty nicely saturated, getting his extractors now. But, in all that, I would have loved to have seen him take a 4th base.
Yeah, and if he took a 4th base, he'd be even farther ahead than he is right now. And he actually kind of needs this 4th base because he wants to try going into Hydralisks and also is getting a infestation pit. And I'm assuming he's going to go for Roach Hydra Viper in this game because of the fact that he has his lair already. And you can't really go Roach Hydra Infester or Roach Hydra Swarm Host versus mech. It doesn't work too well, and you won't have the gas for it. Yeah. And if he took a 4th base, he'll have the gas for Roach Hydras. He'll have the larvae for the Roach Hydra, and then also the Vipers. It'll just make it a lot easier for him in case he does in fact lose his 3rd base to some sort of Hellion run by or something of that sort. But right now, it looks like a lot more roaches are coming in from the north side.
Yeah, I mean, you basically said exactly what Cross is doing here. He's got a hive on the way. We'll be getting the muscular augmentation, mixing in a few swarm hosts, which is a pretty good idea once RuFF has to expand outward because of how open the 3rd bases can be. Right now, it's like there's no way swarm hosts are going to work on a main, like the lockdown that he's got on his main and natural. But the 3rd base potential is still pretty open. 4th base, as it gets later, the swarm hosts will help out much more. But Roach Hydralisk Swarmhost is exactly what he wants to go for to deal with this mech army. You know, going those blinding clouds, using the abducts to pull the tanks or pull the Thors to him. But finally we see Cross going to take his 4th base and all this, but still, you know, being pretty active in all this. RuFF is playing smart, though. You know, he's building up that mech army, wants to be able to start to move out in a little bit and potentially get one of his expansions taken, maybe even try to apply some pressure with all this. I mean, he's got a very strong force. Loaded up 7 tanks, 22 Widow Mines. That is a lot of Widow Mines. So even if you have Overseers, those can get sniped very quickly.
Ooh, and the Swarmhost just got scanned by RuFF. Very well done there. And he sees this. He's going to siege up a few tanks. Or actually, no, he's just going to leave because these Locusts, they're not actually going to be able to make it to that side depot wall without dying. And yeah, as we saw just there, it's all going to die. Now, going to force Cross all the way back to his base. A ton of Widow Mines here. 2 Swarmhosts are here, but realistically, it looks like the Widow Mines, they're just going to burrow in, going to be killing a few Locusts there. There are so many Widow Mines with this army. There are 23 Widow Mines. Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Insane amount. I mean, he's got Thors in the back for extra support. And the the Vipers are coming out now to help support all this, but they're not going to have the energy that he needs. He's not going to be able to abduct. He's not going to be able to use the blinding clouds. So this is basically Cross's way of trying to delay things with the Swarmhost. Go, okay, you know what? Send the Locust out first. Maybe they'll absorb some of the Widow Mines, some of the tank shots, but scan comes down, and now the Swarmhosts have to unburrow and try to get out of there. They're in a lot of danger at the same time. Roach is just kind of hanging out on the high ground. They will get shelled down. Few Vipers going to be starting to consume on that hatch to get a little bit more energy there, but this is dangerous here, weakening his own hatchery.
Yeah, and with a lot of the tanks have died though, and the Roaches, they're going to start pushing forward. There are still so many Widow Mines, so they won't be able to get too close in, and it looks like the own Roaches got blinding clouded, and that wasn't such a good idea because that's wasting energy there, and you don't want to have to keep consuming like your own hatchery. He did transfuse it, but I don't know if that's going to help too much, and it looks like 3 tank reinforcements are going to be on the way. So even though there's not a lot of tanks right now, it's going to get bolstered pretty quickly, and these Widow Mines are doing so much damage versus these Roaches. Yeah, especially that the Overseers, whenever they come out, they get sniped immediately, so this is putting Cross in such a difficult position. I mean, these Widow Mines are really paying for themselves. Now missile turrets are going down, and this is such a hard contain to be able to deal with. I mean, he's got a really solid position here. Tanks still up alive. SCVs are repairing to make this as strong as possible. Even having that one Thor that has been, you know, very, very important to this push here, taking out Vipers, taking out the Overseers, and that Roach army is getting smaller and smaller, and we see supplies have started to even up. Yeah, RuFF, he's played this game so well, and especially this contain is working for him so well. He's just had so many Widow Mines that the Locusts were not able to do anything, and then having these 2 missile turrets here just killed off the Vipers almost instantly, and now the Roaches, it looks like he's either trying to circumvent or just go straight for his opponent's natural. 3rd command center is going to get thrown down, but with the constant reinforcements of mech coming out from RuFF here, I don't know if it's going to work too well. There's not a lot of Roaches here anyways. Widow Mines and tanks do get burrowed and sieged up here, so now the Roaches, they can't really do anything. The other expansion is up for Cross, so he will be mining from there, but I don't know, there's just so much metal out here right now for our Terran player. I don't know how Cross can deal with this right now.
Yeah, and even adding a few Hydralisk in there, which is nothing that he needs right now. I mean, Hydralisk are so weak, they die so quickly there. I mean, they have great DPS, but if you can't even get close enough to do any damage, you know, they're a kind of paperweight. And GG is going to get called. So we see RuFF will be able to take that match there.
Yeah, very well played by him, as that metal just saved him the game realistically. Like, he lost so many workers in the beginning, but he still came back because of the fact that all he really needed was gas.
Right, yeah. I mean, he played it smart, you know, realized exactly what he needs to do, just kind of hunker down for a while and really build up that strong mech force and then go for that kind of game-ending push there. Now, Cross knew he's facing mech. He kind of did what he needed to do, go in there, try to do some serious damage with the Roach drop, you know, take advantage of the immobile mech force. but really wasn't able to do too much damage. And then, you know, his hyper-aggressive style didn't really work against that kind of immobile wall that RuFF was going for of metal, like you mentioned. So, you know, very, very good play from both players, but RuFF showing the patience paid off in that series.
Yeah, and again, I'm MasterDalK, and casting with me was NanMan. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to check out the two teams of the players, you can check out Team oGaming at teamogaming.net and Team SCA at .sca.info, I believe.
I believe so. If you know, you can also check in the description. Some C's will be up on YouTube, and I'll have links to their teams and stuff like that. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in and checking things out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As you know, you can check out both of us on Twitter as well if you enjoy our casting. Of course, it's at MasterDalK and at the Real NanMan. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next game.
See ya.